There we go. Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends. Game number 32. Texas Tech Red Raiders. 16 and 15, 5 and 13. That's your Big 12 tournament. MHL, baby. Tim Kearney, Darryl Prue, and soon to be Jay WolfMan available. Let's get ready to
destined for greatness. My name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, there's ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer the call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down, and I won't give up, and I will act now, and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Parmar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Parmar Stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Parmar Stores, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.
And yes, we do that as well. And we are Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends. I'm the WolfMan, Dale Wolfley. And we have our legends tonight, Darryl Prue, Tim Kearney, and soon to be Jarrod West, who's on his way as we speak. We have the Big 12 tourney tonight, gentlemen. And I'm going to get this going right off the bat and say welcome here. Let's go with you first, Tim, since you're the eldest statesman of this group, the old timer, in other words. How are you tonight, and what's going on, and what are you thinking, man?
Well, first of all, yeah, I'm the old timer, but I don't know if I'm a legend. I mean, I played for y'all. I played for West Virginia. Darryl was actually a legend.
You were drafted the third round of the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not going to keep going round and round here.
Whatever. I'm not a legend. But anyway, here's my thoughts as far as moving forward. And we talked about this before. I think the guys are playing. You know, they're finally syncing together. The last 5 games, they're playing great. I think the biggest question tonight is, you know, what's going on with Texas Tech and the head coach. You know, I'm not sure what happened there. But the big thing that scares me on Texas Tech is they've got such, as far as widespread, as far as you get 5 guys averaging double figures. And they've got a lot of bench scoring as well. I mean, if you look what they did against Oklahoma State, whatever, as far as the bench scoring. I mean, they outscored them off the bench. So we got to see what happens, because you lose your coach, and I don't know, Darryl, how you feel about this, and maybe you can, you know, chime into it. But you lose your head coach. What does that do to the team?
I think it's a couple things. Excuse me. Got to sneeze. Nope. I'm right in between the sneeze. So I think a couple of things. I think, you know, stuff shows up at the end of the year. when you have stuff going on, bad stuff going on, whatever's going on, it shows up at the end of the year. Whatever happened, I don't know if it was like racist comments or something close to insensitive comments. It's going to affect you two ways. Either they're going to rally around a new guy or they're going to sink in. Hopefully, West Virginia's been playing good enough now, or they've been playing well, especially since they lost the last game, to go in there and just jump on them at the beginning and just keep their thumb down.
All right. So Darryl,
they've lost their last three of the last 3 games overall. Texas Tech has. So, like I said, I mean, the guys rally around. Now the coach is gone. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. Well,
there's a lot of unknowns, but we're going to get to that. Well, first, let's get to the tourney. DP. All right, this is tourney time. What's your thoughts? I mean, it's the first game. You've been playing well. You just beat number 11 K-State at home. You beat Iowa State on the road. And it's tough to win at the Coliseum, the Hilton Coliseum there. So what are your thoughts right now heading into this game in Kansas City, where, by the way, the barbecue is stupendous. Mwah! Gorgeous. Love it.
I think we're peaking at the right time. We've been playing good. We had a loss here and there, but we won the last 2 games. It's hard to win 2 or 3 games in a row in the Big 12. I think we're peaking at the right time. We got Texas Tech. I think you just got to jump on them from the beginning, and hopefully they just cave in to whatever the adversity they're going through. Maybe they want the season to be over, and then prepare you, get ready for the next game. It's one game at a time. I used to always say, when you're playing in college, you have your one season. Now this is a whole new season, 0-0 going into the conference playoffs. If you're fortunate enough to make the NCAA, it's 0-0 again. So you got to start all over again. So there's 3 different seasons, and there's 3 different levels of play you have to get to. So now your level of play has to get here. Then we get to the NCAA, your level of play has to get a little higher.
Well, before we get into the NCAA, Tim, I want you to listen to Bob Huggins, what he thinks of this Big 12 tournament.
There are in the tournament and how great the coaches are. I mean, you go right down the list. I mean, there's not anybody that you could even say, well, maybe he's not as good as the other guy. Everybody's good. Everybody does a great job preparing their team. They're great basketball people, and it's a league full of really, really good players. It puts more players in the draft every year. Puts more players in the NBA, playing in the NBA, than any other league. And I didn't know that until, you actually start to dive in and see, what you're up against. But.
All right. Well, more players in the NBA. This is a hard league. We all know it. Eric Stevenson was 3rd team, all Big 12. I really thought he should have been number 2 over Ball from TCU. But Ball was averaging 6 assists per game, so he was doing his job. But again, this team or this league is really hard. But what do you think of the coaches as well? What he said about that, Tim?
I agree. I mean, every coach in the Big 12, I mean, they're top coaches. They know what they're doing. Whether or not a lot of people, will disagree with that. I mean, you look at the coaches there in the Big 12. I mean, it's a tough league, and Darryl knows that as well as everybody else. That every day is. I don't care what you're ranked in the Big 12, but every day, whatever team you're playing against, you can win that game. That's how much talent is in the Big 12.
Or you can lose that game, right? I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, it depends on how everyone's playing. But like I said, every day is different in the Big 12. It's not like the other conferences. That's how I see it. Right.
And DP, now, they're playing a special national anthem tonight for the Big 12. The song, apparently the cover song, is called No Nights Off. That's true, a true story. But they're doing it, and it's called the special anthem. I don't know who's singing it, but it's No Nights Off. And honestly, that has been the truth as we've all witnessed this whole Big 12 season.
Yeah, it's been a great. It's a great league. Then you throw in that one game against the SEC You know, everybody thought the SEC was one of the top leagues, and we wiped them out. The Big 12 wiped them out. And now you see how good the Big 12 is. I mean, it's just a lot of high-level talent from 1 through 8 on each team. So it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Let me put this as I give you the stats, a couple stats here. WVU has reached the finals in 3 of the last 6 Big 12 championships and the semifinals in 4 of the last 6. West Virginia has reached the semifinals in 7 of its 14 conference tournaments under Bob Huggins. Now, that's telling me that obviously we know that Huggins is a Hall of Famer. Huggins knows what he's doing. But what do you see from this team? And Tim, go ahead.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think we between January and now, how we've stepped up, I think we're in the right position to move forward in the Big 12 conference as far as, you know, winning tonight and moving forward. I mean, I think they're starting to peak, which is a big thing. And Darryl, I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I think they're playing a hell of a lot better than they played back in January.
Yeah, they're playing much better winning basketball right now. And, you know, they're doing things that win games.
Why?
They're grinding things out.
Time together.
They're making free throws. You know, they're defending a little better. Guys are starting to step up that wasn't stepping up at the beginning. They're being more consistent as players. Everybody's contributing, and you know, even if one guy has a night off, then somebody else is coming in now to contribute a little bit. And you know, Matthews is playing like he got some urgency. Frank Mitchell's playing like he got some urgency. So it's starting to peak at the right time.
Yep. And by the way, Darryl, I mean, the way that Matthews played the last game, I mean, just his follow-up and, you know, on defensive side, I'm seeing a new side of Matthews, which I know he's talented, and he can do that every game.
Okay, so let's just go with this here because we're looking at the guys. But you look at the team that played on Saturday, Stevenson had 35 minutes. Keegan Johnson had 36 minutes. Evan Matthews had 40 minutes. Trey Mitchell had 39. Okay, that doesn't leave very many minutes left for anybody else. You see Stevenson with 27 points, Kearney with 23, Matthews with 20, and 14 with Mitchell. I mean, that's the crew you started out with. And through the course of this Big 12, you've traveled with them, but they've also gone deeper into the bench with your Seth Wilsons, who's number 2 on the team for 3 points. We go with Wagi, you go with Okonkwo, all those guys. But when it came down for needing this win against number 11 Kansas State Wildcats, he went with the old-timers.
Yeah, I used to coach AAU. When I used to coach AAU, you had to play everybody. I had coached, you know, we have college coaches at our game. But then after I figured everybody out in the spring session and summer section, when I wanted to win, I cut my rotations down. So they're going from 11 to 12, I cut it down to 7. And I went with 7 guys that I knew was going to win the game for me. So I think that's what Huggy doing now. He gave everybody a chance. He was trying to figure things out because, like, as new the players are to each other, they're new to him too. So then he started to figure out. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna lead these guys in the game. I got to win this game." I don't think, you know, it was a senior night thing, but they had to play more. I just think he knew those guys were the ones that was going to win it for him.
Tim, you want to add anything to that?
No, I agree. I mean, you get a certain synergy going on with the players on the court. You leave them out there. I mean, hell, I mean, when I played back when we played UNLV, I played 39 minutes. That's because I wasn't missing shots, so Cala didn't pull my ass out. So, no, it just you go with the guys that are out of the court that are playing well. If not,
okay.
Them off.
All right. So here's a question I had then for the two of you. And DP, I'll go with you first. Your coach. It's been a taxing season. Been taxing to catch up just to get to this spot where they're hoping that they're considered to be in the tournament. In a perfect world, do you beat Texas Tech? Do you lose the next round so that you go home and rest? Would you really improve in your standings in the seeding if you took it to the finals and say lost or even won? Would you improve your spot so much that taxing going from Wednesday night to Saturday night and then doing the dance the next week? Or it'd be better to win one, make sure you're in, and then get out?
Man, that's tough. I was in that situation at Georgetown. We played Georgetown. I was at Georgetown. You play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we played West Virginia on Saturday. So all tough games. We lose on the last second shot. Then Thursday in the NCAA, we had to play Ohio University, and they whooped us. They shot 80% from the floor because I just thought we was tired. The grind of the Big East. Getting to the finals will be great for the status of not being so high, but I think West Virginia would do well as a higher seed than a lower seed, because I think some teams underestimate how good they really are. So I don't think it matters where they are seated, but that question is a tough question. I will want them to win at least 2 games in the Big 12, even though the second game is against Kansas. I will want them to win 2 games, and it make our argument for being in the NCAA easy.
Okay, so I'll go with say, all right, Kansas, that would be a nice victory. You're done Friday night or Saturday. No, you'd be done Saturday night then, right? No, Friday night. You'd be done Friday. Going back. Tim, what do you say to that? Would you want 1 game, 2 games, or do you want the whole shebang?
Yeah, trust me, I want the whole shebang. But Darryl's right. I'd like to get to the second round and play Kansas and just beat the living shit out of them. Because they're due.
Sorry, Bob.
Well, I'm sorry for the language, but no, I'm tired of Kansas. It's about time we get our due respect, and beat that damn team. I'm just sorry, but
that's all right. That's not a bad point, though.
No, we got to get through Texas Tech first of all, and it's going to be a tough game. And then moving on to the next round against Kansas, that's going to be a tough game too. But I just want like hell to beat Kansas. I'm sorry. That's
there's nothing to be sorry about. That's what you want. I understand. But
if we get by Kansas, fine, so be it. But or first of all, we got to get by Texas Tech. But Kansas would be great.
Well, my viewpoint is I want to beat Texas Tech, smash them, and then I want to play a good game the next night and then go home and eat some steaks and some carbs and get ready for the big dance tourney, because you're going to be surprised when Stevenson rips off 30 points on you. They'll be surprised by that.
And some pepperoni rolls. Don't forget about those.
Yeah, pepperoni rolls. That's on the way. All the things I promised. Okay, there we go. Is this now? Let me make sure I got this question right. Oh, yes. Is this a charge or a flop? But according to the officials, it was neither. You see here, Evan taking it in. I don't know how that could not be a no call. Either way, either it's a charge or it's a flop. I mean, that's no worse than you saw with Stevenson against Iowa State. Tim,
Right.
Go ahead.
I think, as far as defender, he was still moving.
Put it up.
He wasn't set. I mean, that's how I look at it, just from the video I'm looking at right now. His body was not set.
Yeah, but you saw the last time with Stevenson, that was called a flop. Same thing. Let's go.
Yeah,
What do you say?
Yeah, that was a block. I mean, probably a good no call, but
You think that's a good no call then? You really do?
Yeah, I think it's a good no call. There's contact, but I don't know if it was that much contact. But to go back to the Stevenson thing, it's the same thing. He was going backwards. He got hit a little bit. So, he's like, referees are lazy. They just saw the guy fall down. You just see him fall down. They probably didn't see the whole play. And, that play, he could have been blocked. But I think it was a good no call. Because if it was more contact, we know Matthews not getting all the way to the rim because he's too light. And he got all the way to the rim. I think he
doesn't have the big body that can slow somebody down like that. I mean,
no, definitely don't. Definitely
I
don't.
think that's a flop. All right, he went down. I mean, if I hit you like that, you'd be in, you wouldn't be that far. You would just go down. That to me, that is a
if you'd have hit me like that, I would have been in Bubba's office.
You're just trying to make an old man feel good. All right. All right, here's the next thing. Stevenson, 27 points, 4 rebounds. Dude's really been off the hook. Stevenson has scored 23 or more points in 5 consecutive games, becoming the first player in WVU to do that since Will Robinson, 1972. Only 5 players have done this in school history: Stevenson, Robinson, Jerry West, Rod Thorne, and Hot Rod Hundley. That is some good company to be with. He has to be remembered because he's done some special things despite everything else that he did.
No, I like I said, Dale, we talked about this earlier. I mean, he's got some quick feet, but he also has a quick release, which is key.
Okay. He's got a quick release. Yeah, he sure does it. And I said to you, that's like any kind of quarterback out there having a good release. But, it's this guy has been on fire. I said before, I think that he should have been number 2 on the All Big 12 team over Ball from TCU. There's been nobody more important to any team the last half of the Big 12 schedule. Am I wrong?
Dale, I'm telling you right now, we get no respect. West Virginia gets no respect as far as the first team, second team, third team, and all that stuff. We never have. We don't get respect with ESPN. I mean, they put us on different schedules and everything else where we got to watch it on ESPN Plus. West Virginia gets no respect in the Big 12. That's my opinion. And people, if they don't agree, they don't agree. But that's my opinion.
All right, DP, what do you say, buddy?
I just think, some of the antics caught up with him. Every time he make a shot, he looking at the other team's bench. Coaches don't like that stuff. Players don't like that stuff. It's a shame that.
Do you think I'm legit by what I'm saying, though? Do my words have legitimacy, at least to a degree?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, like that's how that stuff goes sometimes. But he's had a good run, especially at the end. But I think a lot of his run has to do with DeMar Johnson coaching, and he was a wing. He was 6'9", but this guy could really fill the ball up. He can shoot it. He had different ways of scoring. So maybe the change of individual development helped him out a lot because he's been playing a lot different since Coach DeMar Johnson's been there. Not saying nothing against somebody else, but that DeMar Johnson was a hell of a scorer. Coming up through the years and in college and in the pros before he got hurt in the accident.
Yep. But sure. So you're saying that's a good addition that Bob Huggins made. That's the first positive thing that I've heard about him. Not that I have heard bad things, but no one's really spoken about him in that fashion. Yeah. So that's coming from
people don't really don't know who he is. But remember, he started putting those numbers up after he came. That he was doing okay. He was doing good. He was more inconsistent. But now he's finding his shots in different ways. He's getting his feet set better, and he's looking to rim faster. So a lot of that stuff that he's being taught is different.
Okay.
And also too, Darryl, I think as far as Stevenson, I think it become more of a quarterback of the team. I mean, he's taking charge out there. He's he's getting other guys' faces. I see more of that from the previous months. I don't know if you see that as well.
Man, he's doing a better job of playing. You know what I mean? Like you said, one game we saw him making some assists. They people will follow your lead if you do the right thing. So when he starts doing the right thing, he's people will follow his lead. So now Matthews is playing more consistent and playing harder. Mitchell, he's playing a little harder. So it's like they'll follow your lead if you do the right thing.
No, okay. Those three, like you said, Stevenson, Trey, and Matthews, I think they're really stepping up. So. And
let's look. Yeah, let's take a look here now. So you got Emmett Matthews. Now, I don't want to pound my own chest, but I pointed it out. I said when Emmett Matthews has a big game, it makes a difference for WVU. Now, you can say that's pretty easy, Wolf, but the whole thing is that when I go ahead and I talk about Emmett Matthews, when he goes to the rim, there's no one that stops him. I haven't seen too many guys ever in his career block him when he attacks the rim because he attacks it with strength and explosion.
Yeah, Matthews, that's what we've been saying all year. Like, he has all this ability to do things. He didn't do it. Now he's starting to do it, and it's kind of easy. The rim is wide open. You know what I mean? And he can get in there. We was hoping he'd be a playmaker and try to get in there. Now he's getting to the rim more, and it's again the difference is you get a wing coach in there, just like if you have a wing coach, post coach, and this is like this for the development, it helps those guys out. You just can't run plays and expect your guys to make plays off of plays because they don't have that kind of IQ no more. So you work with stuff and you work on the footwork, show them the angles of how to do things. It makes a big difference for these guys. Make it easier for them.
No, and it also opens up, Trey and also Stevenson too. If Mitchell's, if Mitchell attacking the boards and taking the ball in, it opens up those other two guys as well and everybody else on the floor.
Yeah, it definitely helps with the scouting because
look at that. Just look at that, D. Come on now. Here he is. I mean, he's just when he attacks, he goes. And then the passers actually see him when he attacks. If you notice, Toussaint has been passing to him more because he's attacking more. There's been games when you have not seen him attack the rim. You've just not seen it. And so are you saying now that not only you're saying about Stevenson with the wing, you're saying also that he's affecting that as well?
Yeah, he's a wing player. Yeah,
okay, that's what I'm trying to get out of this.
Yeah, DeMar Johnson is 6'9", but he was a guard. You know what I mean? He was a wing, and that's what he do. He can flat out score, and he knew how different ways to score. And I think his imprint on this team has been with those two guys, especially those two guys.
All right. Well, you got anything to add to that, Tim? Whether you're saying that Emmett Mathis, because that was your guy, at the beginning until he started to really lack. No, honestly, he was not attacking, and now he is. I mean, is that just an obvious move with DeMar Johnson coming on? You're bringing this up, D, so I'm rolling with this, man, because this is cool.
No, I mean, this is what I've been looking for Matthews as far as him attacking the basket and pulling other, the defensive players off of, or where you dish it off to Stevenson or Trey, and I'm still big, and I know Darryl he may shake his head, but Toussaint, I mean, he could be a big factor in tonight's game.
And tonight.
I mean, he had a great game a couple games ago, in scoring. It's just keeping him under control. And like I said, those are the two players I'm going to watch tonight as far as Matthew and Toussaint if he gets in the game.
All right. Cool. So let's check this out then. Let's move on to Kearney. Now, Kearney scored 20 points, or he scored 23 points. And, of course, you see Trey added in his 14 as well. And they're playing better. Kearney, I always thought his defense was excellent. You saw him one time take and block Noel's shot. I'm not sure if it was goaltending or not, but it was just close. It was a good no call, in my opinion. But you can see here. Now, check this out. Here's the really cool thing that I watched this. That with these fast points, the Mountaineers scored 30 fast break points, 36 points in the paint. That's 30 fast break. That's the most I think they've done all year in the Big 12. Tell me if I'm wrong or not, because I don't recall any other times when they were fast breaking it. That seems to me now they're going on the offensive. Before they were struggling on defense and at times struggling with offense in the Big 12. But to me, it seems like they're getting it down, so now they're looking at offensively. I think that comes with confidence. Am I wrong, Darryl Prue?
No, you're not wrong. They're defending better. You see them chasing shots down on the block shots. So when you got the only way you get fast breaks, you get steals, missed shots. So a lot of teams, so if you're playing better defense, you're playing better team defense, getting steals, getting it off the glass and taking out and running out.
But doesn't that give you more confidence for offense? More confidence for offense. I mean, when you're playing better,
it gives you easier points. It gives you easier points. It gives you easier points that way because it's like everybody's not going to make jump shots. Everybody's not going to make post move plays. So you need these layups. These, like you said, give you confidence. Sometimes somebody need a layup to get them started. Sometimes a person need a free throw to help them make shots. So getting easy points like turnovers, and like free throws, all those easy points you got to take advantage of.
Tim?
No, I mean I agree with Darryl as well. In the last couple of games as well, I think Kearney Johnson has really stepped it up where he hadn't shown it before, which is good to see. Not turning the ball over like what we had in some other previous games, but as long as he keeps playing well, I think it's going to as far as moving the ball forward on the offensive side, if he can take control and keep control of the basketball, I think we're in a better place.
All right. So very good. Here's Marquise Noel. I just had to play this, fellas, because this is great basketball between these two guys. With Marquise Noel, 39 minutes, 24 points. He had 23 the first game, 8 assists, 6 steals, 4 rebounds for this guy here. Look at that pass. Now, here's the one thing he didn't have before. He had 6 turnovers this game. 6 turnovers for Noel. That's a big deal for him. And when you think about it, you put Keontae Johnson with him. They're both first team all Big 12. I really think they deserved it in my mind. But, of course, some may disagree with me. But those two are fun to watch. And the Mountaineers beat them 89-81. And they had more turnovers, 20-16 in the game. That's a good sign for WVU.
That's a very good sign when your best players are playing well and you still beat that team. The 6 turnovers could have been a lot of different things, how they start the offense, but you play a team as good as Kansas State and their top players are scoring and you still beat them. That's a big sign, very big sign.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw on Keontae here, Tim. Go ahead. Keep talking about it. You're going to see him now, 42%, 43% three-point shooter. He's the newcomer of the year of the Big 12. Really something special, man. And I just thought the Mountaineers to beat these two guys, they're at the top of their game. They were on a 4-game win streak. They did not play poorly in this game. The Mountaineers took their shot against a good or they took the shot from a very good team. Go ahead, Tim.
John's played very well. I mean, like you said, the guy's 6'6", 230. He's a big body, and he can move people around in there. And he did a very good job. And getting back to Noel, I mean, he's 5'8". He's I was impressed with what he did in the game. And I think at the end of the game, when I think Hugs gave him a hug at the end of the game, and I think I read his lips saying, "Why aren't you playing for me?"
I don't blame him. I would be like, yeah.
That little son of a bitch is incredible. I mean, he was popping up from 40 feet, 3-pointers. I mean, it was amazing to watch him.
Yeah, it sure was. And that's just so. Now that game, I just wanted to go over it because, like all the other games, I think that was their most complete game overall against a very good team. Not the best game that they've done, but complete against a very good team, and it showed an 89-81 victory. But right here, let's go ahead and get right to our sponsors. You got to think about Parmar Stores, and our title sponsor all year long here, especially the Big 12 play. Parmar, there's not a store near you now. There will be one soon. Then you have, of course, Dan Cava, Toyota World. It's your Fairmont dealer, Toyota's the biggest in the state, man. Danny Cava, you gotta love him. Go to Dan Cava, Toyota World, and shop the world. And then, of course, yes.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
Is Parmar store looking to open up somewhere here in Northern Virginia?
Well, you know what? They are in 5 states right now, and they are going. So they will definitely send you a pepperoni buns, pepperoni roll buns. And of course, I'm going to tell you, you're getting me all screwed up because I'm old. All right, so don't forget about Wilson Martino, right? Where's Jay West, man? Where are you at, brother? I got your smile. Bobby Martino. Hey, Wilson Martino, man, they're the best. They love WVU. They support WVU. We need to support them with all of our smiles because they do excellent work. And then, of course, you got Country Roads Trust, name, image, and likeness, getting it done for WVU student athletes. Keep us competitive. Keep us going to more Big 12 tourneys. Okay, gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's get into what the Mountaineers are going to face tonight, and that is the starting lineup. And the lineup right there, if you look at it, you can see here is O'Banner. Now, O'Banner hasn't been playing great the last few games, but he does lead the team with 14 points and the second leading rebounder. He's big time. If I look at my notes here, you got to look at all these guys. Jalen Tyson, he had 27 points against the Mountaineers last time. IMAC right there. $5. He's 6'11". He's getting 8.5 rebounds per game, double figures. Last 5 games, he's been all over. Go ahead. Pop Isaacs, shoot from downtown. He'll shoot from half court. Go ahead. Tim, give me what you think about this Texas Tech team that not only they're in the top 5, but they are playing 9-10 guys.
They're playing. You look at the bench scoring, everything else. They've got 5 guys averaging double figures. They're quick. and they're constantly trapping. Like I said, if the guys are playing like they did the previous game, I think we should be all right. We should be all right. But yeah, they've got a lot of scorers, and that's what we got to be conscious of. Like I said, not only from the five top that are starting, but they got a lot of bench scorers as well. They got a lot of points off of turnovers and everything else. You look at the percentages. Last game, percentage-wise, they did all right. I mean, but I think it was the last game they were hitting almost 50% from 3-point range. So they could pop it up.
14 for 30, big time.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got to be conscious of that.
All right. Well, D, let's talk about right here. Jalen Tyson, 6'7", 210-pound guard. Now they'll go 3 or 2 forwards, 3 guards. Sometimes they're in a 4-guard rotation, but he's averaging. He's number 20, averaging 11 points per game, man. But like I said, he had 27 against the Mountaineers, and he's come on really strong the second half here of the Big 12 season.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He can stroke it a little bit, and I think the key was we kind of. Since we beat him the first time, I don't know how ready we were for them the second time. I think the kid Pop Isaac got hurt the first time, so he went out of the game. And the big fella, what's his name again?
Imac. Yeah.
And Imac didn't play the first game, so you had 2 different players that was really good that didn't play, and I don't think we were ready for that. But, so I think we'll be ready for this game with those 2 guys playing, and hopefully we can knock their wheel out early.
Yeah, what do you say there, Timmy? When you look at, you're seeing 6'7" guards, they got 6'6" guards. They have a couple 6'2", Lamar Alexander, of course, and Devion Harmon. He's 6'2", but they have some real athletic guys. I mean, even Imac runs down the court like he's very agile.
Well, like I said, I mean, between Matthews and also Trey Mitchell, matched up with these 6'7" guys, I think that's going to be key. The second thing, as far as their big guy, throwing Bell should be able to beat the crap out of him with the size of his body, just to wear him out. Okay.
Timmy, should Bell be rested because he hasn't played a lot the last couple of games? Should he be feeling pretty good about things right now, not so beat up?
I think he should be feeling fine. I mean, it depends, what how the calls go tonight. Like I said, he's a big body. I mean, he can wear out their big man. I mean, trust me, you got somebody leaning on you the whole game like that, it's going to wear you out.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and look at Devion Harmon at 14 points per game. He's got 111 assists. He leads the teams with assists and 51 steals. Him and O'Banner, number 0, who, again, didn't score very much the last couple of games, but they both are honorable mention all Big 12. How do you go ahead and look at these guys? Look at me. He can penetrate. He can shoot 3-pointers. This is the one shot here I grabbed from last game. How do you slow him down? And all his assists.
I would just got to stop them early. They like to get out and run. You can't force bad shots. You got to get back on defense. All the stuff you see right here is, the guys losing their man. And so it's just, you got to be solid with them. I would trap a little bit more. I think make the game ugly. When we make the game ugly, we have a good chance of winning.
I agree with the trapping, just to slow them down.
Yeah, because I don't think they have really one good ball handler. I
agree.
So I would just make it ugly for them. Trap them and get them out of there. I would act like this is my last game and just go all out and do the same thing the next game if you get there. I just, you don't have. It's no more looking back. You got to go full force from right now.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. 14 for 33-point. Hug said a great thing in his press conference. They say, like, these guys can shoot, like Isaac Pops, you'll see here. I mean, that's Imac. That's the 6'11" guy right here again. There he is popping the 3-pointers in. He can put the points in the paint. But here you're going to see, look at Pops, way downtown. You saw that with Marquise Knowles. And Hug said, look at that. I mean, what Hug said is that was good training against what Marquise Knowles was doing, because that's what these guys do. But remember, they play 8 guys. It's like 6 guards. Again, that's Lamar Washington right there, number 1. Everybody's popping. Again, that's him again. I mean, I just looked at it, and there's not one guy against here, Oklahoma State, that scored double figures. 4 guys scored 9 points, 3 guys scored 6, and 1 guy scored 7, and the other guy scored 5. I mean, that's what they have going on.
If they're playing, this is my feeling too. I mean, we did it in the past with I forgot what game it was, but we went small. As far as playing 4 guards, maybe that's something that we consider for that. As far as going up against these guys popping for 3, that's just a thought. But I don't know how you feel about it, Darryl.
No, I don't think we should change because what somebody else do. I think we got to keep on. I think we got to keep do it for a little bit, but we got to keep pounding them. I just think you watch those clips. There's a lot of bad defense. A lot of guys fell asleep. You know what I mean? Once they pass the ball, they relax, and once you relax, you just can't relax, and they bang threes. And I think against this team, if you relax and they hitting, it's a terrible thing for the defender because they will make shots.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get right to it then. All right. This game, obviously, it's a big game. I think the Mountaineers are in regardless if they win or lose. Maybe if it's a bad visual, if they lose in a bad way, maybe that could be some way to influence the committee. I think they're in. Okay. D, would you agree with that, or would you say it's up in the air?
I still think it's up in the air. I would like to win another game.
Okay. Hang on. Tim, go ahead. What do you say?
Well, I agree with Darryl. I think if we beat Texas Tech, we're in.
Okay.
Because we're going up against Kansas after that game. So, it is what it is. But if we beat Texas Tech, I think we're in.
Is there any favor to us that you just played Texas Tech for your last or 2 games ago? I think one game ago, 2 games ago. Sorry, it was a week ago Saturday from that game. Is there any favor that you just played against them, even though you lost? It was a game you kind of gave up. Too many turnovers, too much crap went down, and they were up by 8 points with like 7 minutes left in the game. Tim, go ahead. You go first.
Well, like I said, our biggest problem has been in the past with these turnovers. If you look at the losses we had and the turnovers we had, we need to take care of the ball, and we need to, like I said, between Stevenson's, Matthews, and Mitchell, these guys have got to step it up. It's their senior year. They're playing well together. I think as long as we're moving forward with that direction, I think we're good to go tonight. But like I said, got to keep the turnovers and get the rebounds.
D, if we lose tonight, but we're in the tournament, is this a confidence problem?
I think Hugger's a good enough coach to get them back on point. I just think the first game will be really tough and sloppy because of what you just said about the confidence. But I think he'll get them going. It's just the seeding part is depending on who we play. You know what I mean? And depending on if the kids want to do it. The kids really want to play the NCAA, they'll win this game. You don't want to lose. You lost to them a few games ago at home, and now you got to play them again. You know what I mean? This is a good sign that you really want to be in there. All
right, Tim. So I appreciate what you just said there, Dave, but let's be honest. Their butts were on the line against Iowa State, against Oklahoma State, and then here against Kansas State. That was 3 games in a row, I believe, that they had to take care of business. And let's give them some props here and say, yeah, man, they beat Oklahoma State when they needed to. They took out Iowa State at the Hilton Coliseum, and they took out the number 11 Kansas State Wildcats. I would say they want to be in the tournament.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think everything's clicking right now with this group. I mean, that's how I see it in the games that I've been watching. And I truly believe, I think moving forward, as long as I stay on that track, we could end up winning the Big 12. I mean, really. I mean, if these guys keep going the way they're going right now, I'm confident that they can move forward in the Big 12. And in the NCAA, because no one, I'm telling you right now, I don't think anybody in the NCAA wants to play West Virginia right now.
Great point. You just knocked off number 11 team, 3-game win streak. All right, D, talk to this defense. Now, is this guy that what they used to like was that man help was the Texas Tech, right? The man help that they did, and they would sit there and double down on the post. Now, do you see this new coach going ahead? Because you got Pod Bessick here saying, hey, how is Texas Tech going to respond with the new head coach? Is he going to continue what the other coaches doing, or is he going to go out on his own here and do something different?
I'm sure he's going to stick with the coach is doing. You know, he probably is in contact with the coach. They haven't fired him yet, so I'm sure that, you know, the coaches on the staff don't know what's going on. If the coach get a job somewhere else, they want to go with him. So I don't know how long these guys been with them. They're going to do the same thing. You know, the substitutions might be a little different. They might be a little freer. They might, you know, playing because, you know, they have the new coach. That's the thing. They might, you know, being a free player in a system, you know, with good players, that could be a problem.
You know, Tim, let me ask you this. Are they going to, Texas Tech, you think they're going to attack West Virginia in the paint with the back doors and slants and break into the basket? Or do you think they're going to try to go with the three-point shooting, which right now their team, they're 35% overall, but they weren't on their last game. They were 47 actually.
I don't know. I know we need to pound it in, just like Jarrod would say, pound it in the beginning of the game, you know, get them offset. What they're going to do, I think they're going to be firing from the three-point range.
Firing from the three-point range? Well, that's what they did at 14-30. Again, D, what do you see, man? Like how okay, you talked about the defense. Now let's talk about how is WVU. You said they're going to do what they do, not what Texas Tech's doing. So what is it that WVU is doing right now that you like that they need to keep doing? And don't say scoring points, more points than the other team. All right.
That's what I say.
I know. I was ready. I was prepared.
That's how you win a fucking win the freaking game. Sorry, guys. Okay.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Hey,
that's the last show, Dale. We done.
Hey, Dale. Hey, Dale, tell your mom I'm sorry. Okay.
That's all right. She knows your heart, Timmy. That's all we care about. But
no, I'm a Mountaineer. Okay, I say what's on my mind.
Hey, listen, she's heard it before.
All right. So yeah, I would, you know, take advantage of all the mismatches we have. You know, they may be 6'7" and stuff like that, but I don't know how big they are with Mitchell and Matthews. Matthews keep doing what he's doing. He's getting all the garbage points. He's getting backdoors, hitting open shots. Mitchell is doing what he does well, and you know, and if Stevenson is doing what he's doing, if he's getting 30-something points, I'm fine with all that. But I think Mitchell has to step up too, and we got to find that third guy to hit 20 points. I think those, you know, Kearney Johnson's been doing a good job of scoring. So whoever the top three scorers are, we need them to score this game.
You know, every time is Tim, are you all right, brother? All right, I'm going to make sure. But every time I go out and I say, you know what, Evan Matthews is killing it, man, and he's doing good. And then he goes out and he's hanging on the wing. But not since you're right. Not since DeMar Johnson. So I'm going to say Evan Matthews, once again, is the key tonight. I love when he's slashing and he's grooving because then his field goal percentage shooting also goes up. Evan was 9 out of 11 for field goals. And, yes, I know they were a lot of the rim shots, but he did have some outside shooting. And notice that he didn't take a three-pointer against Kansas State Wildcats. It was 9 of 11. And, again, the free throw shooting has to continue to be well because it's really unbelievable. I asked you the last time, how do they improve their free throws? Because they were so horrid. Okay, that first Kansas State game, the 31st of December, they went 7-16. They were less than 50% on the free throw, and they finished out, and they're shooting 80% around that average. I mean, it's just it's pretty amazing.
It's taking pride, is what it is.
Is that what? Okay.
You get your ass in practice, and you practice your free throws. Hit the back of the rim on your free throws. That's the way it is. Don't let anybody get in your head. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to pride.
DP.
I was a bad free throw shooter, and I had a whole bunch of pride.
Let me ask you a question. How are you such a good player?
Shooter, okay. And when we played UNLV, I was fouled 30 seconds into the game, and I'm standing at the free throw line with the camera down below the basket with the red light on. And I'm like, please don't throw an air ball. And I think I went 9 for 15 or whatever. I was fouled a whole lot of times. But it comes down to, no, you make this thing. You don't care how many people are watching.
But this generation got a whole lot of different access to the gyms. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see a gym until my 8th grade. You know, then when I was in high school, only time I got in the gym was we had practice. You know, college, you know, in West Virginia, nobody really wanted to get in the gym. So I had to get in there, you know, shoot on my own. You know, and then when I came home, I didn't have access. These guys got a practice facility with their little key cards. They can go in there anytime they want. You know, so nowadays it's just, you know, you know, like you said, Tim, blocking things out. But, you know, when people keep talking about it, you know, you hear it. So it's hard to block things out when you keep hearing it. So, you know what I mean? So it's just a thing where I think they improved on everything. You know what I mean? Like we talked about 2 months ago. And I just think we have a chance, you know, we just got to go out there and play.
Yeah. I got a story for you, Darryl. Okay. Back when I was a sophomore in high school, Gail Catlett came to our high school when Bobby Joe Smith was coaching, and he gave us all free throw lessons. Gail Catlett did. Our percentage went down, boom, after Catlett gave us free throw tips.
Yeah, McPherson did me the same way. Mine went down.
You're talking to two old guys. What did you guys expect? Okay, let me say this. All right, I say that the Mountaineer team, this is what they need. Okay, they need Eric Stevenson running like the raging wild man he is. Don't know which one you're going to get, but he needs to score. He needs to score 20, 25 or more to get him in his game. So he starts shaking his head, he starts wagging and all that good stuff to his teammates. You need Evan Smith going to the basket. You need Trey playing tough, being physical on defense, and Kearney's just being his physical self, defense, all that good stuff. I think he's got to stop Devion Harmon. I really do. Am I right? Is he even going to be matched up with him? Do you think they're either one of you? I mean, you got to put Kearney on Devion, right? He's the one with the assist guy. He's got to defend him.
No, I think so too. But also, I think Bell on their big man too. You got to wear his ass out too. You know, I mean, put the big body on him that Bell's got just to wear him out.
All right, DP. Last thing you got to say about this before we take it home.
I just think, you know, we're in a prime place right now. I just got to take advantage of this opportunity. I mean, like you said, we're gonna get 3-game winning streak. You know, get the 4th one. We need it. You know, and then we don't have to be begging the NCAA, telling everybody how tough our schedule was. You know, it's tough when you win games. You know, I mean, when you lose games, okay, you can't say it's tough because everybody has a tough schedule when they lose. So I think we win this game. I think we're sitting pretty for the NCAA selection committee.
Yeah.
Tim, what you got to say?
I agree with what Darryl said. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And I also want to give a shout out to Kelly McCourt, who's she's been posting stuff since we've been online since day one. And I'd like to say hello to Kelly. And I'm sure Darryl would too, because she put some good posts up there for us.
That is a he though. It's like Dale. You know, it could be a guy or a girl. So don't worry, Kelly. We're all good. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I want to say a big shout out to Mountaineer Nation. I'm going to tell you why. This team has been all over the place, especially in the Big 12, but they kept selling out, man, down the line. What a job by Mountaineer Nation staying in it. What better place do you want to play than coming to WVU, where you can have a losing record in the Big 12 and still sell out the Coliseum. And that's it, my friends. Let's go, Mountaineers. Let's beat the Red Raiders, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see you back tomorrow night.
I hope so.
All right, baby. Here we go. Later.
Let's go, Mountaineers.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars. And I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed. It's how
Kelly
I was
McGorn.
made, this ice in my veins, run through
Birthday
it
is
all.
on Monday.
No matter the odds,
Happy
I'm an answer
birthday,
call. The
Kelly.
enemy knocks on the door.
Happy birthday,
Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down and I won't give up, and I will act now and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.